I know you're gonna dig this.
There we go! Hey guys, welcome back to Dry Racing. And today we're doing an unboxing of our new press brake from Swag Off-Road. Made in America. This is the same company that made our stand for our Portaband, which is probably one of the best things we've ever bought. And with this, it's some assembly required because we have to actually weld it. And for us to do that, we had to buy an additional extension cord for the welder. Hold on when you're buying one of these because they're not cheap. But yeah, for this press brake, we're going to obviously have it mounted in here so we can do a little more fabricating. And with our Saturn project, to be able to fab up some of the stuff to make patches and all the stuff with that. So yeah, let's get into opening this. Oh wow, initially this is heavy duty. Really thick piece of angle iron. Couple springs. I don't know what these are going to be for, but I feel like someone could, if they had fabricating skills, could fab up their own press brake. How thick that is. Now this can bend 5/8 steel, so super heavy duty. I don't think we'll ever go that extreme, but you never know.
Hope there's some instructions in there.
I hope so. Nuts and bolts. Let's see what's in this one.
There you go.
I think this is the actual brake part, as you can see.
Nice.
Nice smooth finish on all this. So you're not going to cut yourself on any of this. So they did a really good job with this. Looks like we got a miter gauge with it.
Really?
Here's the instructions. Oh, perfect. Most important piece.
We got the decal.
We got the decal. And
I think that was just a box.
yeah, there's a lot to this. And that is that. So a lot of heavy duty pieces here. I have no doubt that it can bend 5/8 steel. So we'll unfortunately read some of the instructions and we'll get back to you. So initially reading the instructions, it doesn't seem that complicated of a kit to put together. But the first issue we found out with our 20-ton press is this is supposed to sit right in there. As you can see, it doesn't fit. It's about 1/4 to 3/8 inch too long, and it doesn't really work out with the instructions to cut it off one end or the other, split the difference. So what we think we're going to do is take our Portaband and cut just some grooves in there so we can lay it in there and just have it drop down on there. So no big deal.
About a 1/4 inch each side.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, pretty self-explanatory to put together. You have 2 of these rods. they're going to go in there, and I think we have to hammer them in there.
That's kind of a press fit. We can use the press to knock it in.
Right. And then
you tack, weld it.
these go on here. And the kind of the idea is you have an assembly like this. These will be in there. And so when this is all pushing down together, that'll get the spring back up. So really not too bad. As of right now, because of our fitment issue, we're not putting in these clamp tabs till we kind of get more figure out what we want. And that's not that big of a deal. These just kind of slide right in there. And that allows you to just clamp it down in place. I'm sure we can, once we get things figured out, we'll do that. And then this piece gets welded right to the top. And that's just for going right to the press. So overall, not too hard, but it's going to test my welding ability. But this is pretty clean metal, so it should go pretty easily. We kind of have it marked out of about as wide as we want. We're going to work our way in, and we're going about 1/4 inch on each end. And obviously, we're probably going to have to come back over here a couple times to get it just right. But yeah, you see, it's also Swag brand, but we didn't have to weld this one. So let's make these cuts, see if we can make it fit.
So you get a lot of control with the blade as opposed to a grinder.
Yeah, slow and steady, and obviously can't get like right on there, but we'll clean it up with the grinder after the fact anyways. So I think I still got to do a couple more slivers, and this stuff's thick, so it's taking a little bit to cut because we're cutting a little slow. Save the blade, but might be at this for a minute. Well, we got a pretty good notch there, and it looks like it's going to fit, so we're going to do the same on the other side, but this time I'm going to go a little bit further than I did the last time, just a little bit, just to get a little more play so it's not such a hassle taking it in and out. So one side down, let's do one more. Modifying tool is successful. I believe we just notched, I don't remember what side, but slides right in. It's not moving anywhere, but for thicker material that we're going to end up bending, we do need to get this piece supported a little bit better. But for the thin stuff that we're kind of initially doing, we'll probably be fine. But now, I believe we're going to get these knocked into place, welded, and I guess keep going from the instructions. So here's kind of what we're doing. Got the plate there, kind of protect that a little bit better. And the hole is just big enough to have that go in. And I think we're pressing it pretty much all the way through, so then you can tack weld it on the bottom. And I'll do the instructions again. You might have to weld through there too. But
yeah, we'll take a look.
Yeah. All right, we got it pressed in. Maybe I overshot this one a touch. I don't think it's going to really matter. But the key to it is making sure everything's straight and plumb. So we got a machinist square. We have it going against the flat bottom here. And this, right now, maybe we're touch off, so we've been just giving little taps. And then at that point, when we're ready to set the welder and everything, we kind of give it tack and kind of plug weld that in place. They said probably at that point, then probably because we went too deep, maybe not, but kind of plug weld it and then grind it smooth. But with our way our press is, it's hollow here, so I don't think it's as big of a deal.
Just put a bead on it and it doesn't matter. Yeah.
Right. Just want it to hold. Plus, I don't think this piece isn't supporting any hard side to side.
It's just a guide. Yeah.
Yeah, just a guide for bringing the
anvil down. Yeah.
Yeah. So not a big deal. So yeah, let's get this other side pressed in. Well, we gotta run back to the store real quick because didn't realize with our MIG welder, looking at the specs of what they want you to weld for certain thicknesses. 30 wire is not good for welding this thick of stuff. So we got to go to the store and pick up some 35. And even then, our machine only, I think, registers up to, I don't even know, not 3/8 like this is. So it's going to be a lot more heat involved, but I think it'll weld it just fine. So yeah, we're going to go buy some wire and then change it out. We'll get back to it.
At least we found the tips.
Yeah, I'm very surprised that we have a 35 tip just laying around, so we have to spend another $10 on those tips. Let's not booger this one up. All right, we got the 35 wire. Be sure when you're looking on the shelves, you buy the actual MIG wire, not the flux core. For one, it's twice as much, and it would not work that well with this. So luckily, we got the right stuff, so let's get it changed out here.
How's that looking, Ricky?
I'm not a professional fabricator or welder, but I think it looks fine and that ain't going nowhere. So just on to the next piece, figure out which whatever piece that is, and I think I have good settings. I think the 35 wire is working. So
Yeah, it does look good.
that's half the battle, so just keep moving. All right, kind of the next step is putting the guides on the top die. Now it's very crucial that these are centered on there. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of tack it, like maybe one or two on each side. And then the trick is don't weld it up all the way, because you want to be able to drop it down on your guide poles here and make sure it goes without jamming up or anything. So if you have to break it off or cut a weld real quick, you can still do that. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm probably going to end up welding it, laying down, make it easier. But just to get tack in place and know that we're centered, it'd be easier if it's straight up and down.
Think that'll hold to check it out?
Yeah, it's tacked. A little ugly.
Okay.
Because I think the speed was still a little bit too fast for tacking, but especially up and down because it rained down a little bit. But
Yeah. Okay, let's go check it out.
I think
Not fitting?
this needs to get knocked over a touch.
Okay.
A little tweaking, it went down, but I don't know what how much bind is too much bind. Might need to tap them one way or another. This part's a lot harder than I thought. That was just gonna fall right in there.
Okay, let's keep working on it.
Well, we double made sure that these are perpendicular and level, and they're all good. So we end up cutting off one, and we got this pretty well centered in there and free. And you can see, dropping this straight down, it doesn't even go in there. It's even with that shoved all the way over, it won't go down. So,
And you can see that's pretty parallel, so it's not a matter of bending it. It's a matter of, we got to shorten up this just a little bit.
yeah, I might grind that down a little bit.
Either grind it or cut it. Maybe we can, we'll figure that out.
Just it's not much. I think we'll just end up grinding it.
Want to
down.
run it through the portaband?
No, I think it's too fine of a cut, or it'd be too fine of a. I don't know. We'll take a measurement.
Okay,
See what
we'll get
we
this
do.
figured out, but yeah, we gotta maybe grind a flat. Maybe just grind a flat on that tube.
Yeah, it's not much. It's
Just enough.
yep. So we cleaned up some of the splatter there. We ground this down. I don't know if you can really see that, but just enough. And this will drop straight down. And we'll test, and it goes up and down. So I'm thinking I'll kind of hold this, get like one tack on there, and then we'll see if it wants to go or not, and then adjust from there.
Sounds good. Let's try it.
All right, that ended up working. I ended up having to, I forgot which side that was now. This side. I ended up pushing it in a little bit and then tacking it to the other side. And
Let's show this throw those springs under it and
tolerances are still pretty tight, but
all right, we'll
I
see.
think it'll work. So yeah, we'll finish welding all the way up and call it good for this piece.
Good thing you put some shine armor on the hood of the motorhome because you're bouncing sparks off of it, and it looks like it's doing its job.
As it should.
As it should, yes.
Well, I'm stacking the fat dimes over here.
You know what? For not being a welder, I think that looks pretty damn good, Ricky.
Yeah, I mean, it literally gets the job done.
It is looking good.
As I say, good enough for who it's for. I'll hit this side and then I'll flip it.
Okay. Hopefully it still fits.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, you know, it's little projects like this that help you practice for the big stuff, so.
Yeah, and this piece is probably more than good enough welded just for the fact that these are just the guides. They don't...
Shouldn't be a lot of force on
there's
that.
not a lot of force on them. So, honestly, probably tacking them, that was the first one I did is probably the best, and I think I try-harded too much.
Okay.
But, yeah, let's see what the next step is. I believe it's putting
See if it still fits.
I think it's putting the bottom die in next.
Right.
We'll see if it still fits first. Good. All right, now the kind of next step of the process is getting this squared up in here, because this is where top die is obviously going to come down and hit, and you don't want them to be at an off angle. So we got to figure out where we want this, make sure it's square, and maybe tack it up a few times. We might even drop this in, have it kind of
Why don't
sit.
you drop that in and see where it sits. I still think I want to grind that mill scale off. I'll just hit it with a sanding disc and we'll clean it up. But that should hold it while you tack it. So make sure that's lined up.
Right in the crevice there.
Okay, I'll put the camera down. Let's double check this together. And
We got the mill scale ground off this piece, so we can get a lot better penetration, a lot better weld here. And then we got this centered side to side, just about 1.5 inches both sides. And the most important thing is that the point matches up with that.
everything's lined up and squared, yeah.
Yeah, because if you're off and you try to make a bend, it'll make a kind of funky angle there. But it looks good. So I'm gonna come to probably put 4 tacks each side, see if you still like it, and then see if I can't aim straight this time and just go down the whole thing. And then that's pretty much it. And then we can put it into the.
Well, we'll have to put the top piece on. Have to get
Oh yeah.
find out where that lines up exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, looking good.
Yeah, I got 4 tacks each side, and it didn't pull one way or another. It's still in the groove. So do my best about keeping a straight line. Maybe go a few inches at a time and stop and.
Go side to side a little bit.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to get one solid pass all the way through, but I think my best bet is to go just sections.
This project's coming together. It's really not taking you too long.
No, and if we really knew what we were doing and had to figure it out, we'd probably get this easily done in an hour. I mean, if you knew what you were doing going into it.
Right.
But, yeah, it was light when we started, now it's dark, so.
Hey, and we had to go to the store twice.
That too. Yeah, if you're prepared to know what you're doing.
Which we're neither.
How's that look?
It's looking pretty good.
Jump back to the other side.
All right.
Yeah, definitely. Tell still learning. I had some fat beads in there, so I've learned. I think the settings are right. I just got to weld faster.
Yeah, I mean, just building tools is how you practice.
Well, I think the heat warped everything just a little bit. I think as it's cooling down, it's actually getting better. But
Yeah, that's looking pretty good.
it's all in there. Now we just gotta get the final piece of finding dead center of this, and
So let's go set it up in the press.
yeah, hold this piece on there.
All right, let's move it over to the press and see what it looks like.
All right. After fighting a little bit to get this thing in here, doing a little test on an old license plate. Some real thin stuff. It shouldn't have any problems, but I think the real test is to see if it wants to bind and go back up. We're opting not to put this piece on because you can see there's like a set screw in there, and that's meant for going over the top of your press itself and to help bring it back up, other than the springs. But it just doesn't fit over that, and all it would be doing is just adding a little extra space, which it's not as big of a deal.
This is pretty wide as it is, so we're going to give this a try. I'm not saying we won't. We got to do a lot of cleanup on this.
Oh yeah, a lot of splatter, a lot of lube kind of stuff. So
pretty happy with it. That looks pretty cool.
It's bending the metal, which is the whole purpose of it.
So you can throw other angle iron in there and make a tighter bend. Down there, it's making pressure. Okay, why don't you bring it up?
Well, it does U.
Okay.
So I think we're at the bottom of the.
It's pretty clean. Let's get something a little bit thicker.
Yes, because this kind of had a lot of spring back to it. So.
All right, just a second. Okay, looks like you got a piece of galvanized.
A little bit thicker stuff, so maybe you won't have as much spring back to it. And of course, I let it go all the way back up.
I'm going to pause the video. This is torture.
10 hours later, we're getting close. Okay.
Now there is an attachment to support the metal going out the back we could use. And there is a clamp function that we may need to consider, but because we cut those notches, it can't go anywhere.
Right.
So it's kind of self-clamping, is our theory. Pretty happy with it. I mean, we got to do a lot of cleanup.
You can see the springs getting close. Alright, I think that's it for the springs. So. Oh, man, look at that. I could tell it's not exactly 90, but that's pretty close. You can probably go down a little bit more. But,
Still, that made a nice bend.
But we were hitting the springs there, and it probably being another semi-thinner piece, it probably did spring back a little bit. So I guess we're going to have to mess around with what'll work or not. But
Yeah, a lot of experimenting, a little bit of cleanup.
yeah. So overall, I think this is going to be a great product. And honestly, I think us being able to do it in the time that we did, and obviously you could do it a lot quicker, but you don't need to be master fabricator to be able to put this together and use it. And it's thick metal. You're not going to break it. I mean, there's the only thing that I could see failing somehow would be the springs. And you could probably throw different springs on there if you really wanted to. But went together pretty simple.
I think we can adjust it forward just a little bit.
Yeah, I think we're gonna mess with the notches, but it's all at this point personal preference stuff. But other than that, pretty much how it goes together. Yeah, we could add a few things, but we're not really needing that, and the one piece just doesn't work for us. So it is what it is. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully, this makes you hopefully this makes you want to go get one of these if you've been on the fence or eyeing the cost of pre-built one that comes all together, because this was $275.
$275 on Amazon, and Eastwood has one already assembled for $250, but it's a little bit smaller.
Right, and this is, as you guys can see, this is heavy duty. It's not going to break. So yeah, hopefully if you've been on the fence, this is the one you go with. Doesn't take a whole lot of fabricating, and my makeshift welding can do it. So I know you probably can too. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.